Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the vertex form of a quadratic equation and how to graph and how do we start looking at graphing this parabola that's created. So from this we're going to be able to identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, whether it's a maximum or minimum point, and the range. So to start off with, the vertex form is right here. Y equals a parentheses x minus h squared and then plus k. We will have numbers at a, h, and k. We will always have a y value and always have the x value. So this is our input value, that's our output value. We will always have the x and y in there. Now the a value, let's start there. This is very similar to when it was in standard form. If this a value is positive, okay, it can either be positive or it could be negative. This is going to tell us a lot about what our parabola is going to do. If it is positive, this will open up. It's going to look like this. There's our form. If it's negative, it's going to open down. And it's going to take that form. Now, if this is opening up, if we look at this, it comes down to a minimum point. So this will have a minimum point. This one, it's going up. This one will have a maximum point. And now we look at the range. The all-important range. Comparing our y values. At the bottom here, which way do our y values go? They go up. So if a is positive, it's always going to be y greater than or equal to from our minimum point. If it's negative, it's always going to be y less than or equal to our maximum point, our y value there. So the a value gives us a lot of information. Now remember, we didn't calculate one thing yet when we're looking at the vertex form. Our h and k value is the vertex. Now this should look familiar to you, should look very familiar to the equations for absolute value. The only difference thing here is, here we have parentheses instead of the absolute value bars, and this is squared. Remember, if this is minus, h is a positive number. K is a positive number when it's plus. This is how we get our vertex. So even though this is different, it's a lot easier finding the vertex than calculating out from the standard form, using like the negative b divided by 2a. So we're going to look at three problems here. Thinking about all of this information, I left you a chart. Okay? And you're going to see from this, there is no calculations except evaluating what's going on. Puts us in a nice, neat, or nice, easy form. So here's problem A. Negative 3 parentheses x plus 2 squared plus 4. Now, I want to know what the vertex is. I want to know the axis of symmetry. I want to know whether it's a maximum or minimum. And I want to know what the range is. We should be able to find all this out without calculating anything. So here's our a value, or a equation. When we're looking at this, our vertex, because this is plus, it's always going to be the opposite term. Think about this. What's going to make this equal to 0? A positive 2 or a negative 2? It's going to be a negative 2. And then that number there, 4. There's our vertex. It's that simple. Now the axis of symmetry, remember it's x equals that value. So it's x equals -2. Now because our a value is negative, this is going to take this form. So I have a maximum point. And because it's going down, because it's, again, a negative number going down, it's going to be y less than or equal to our number 4 here. That's our range. So every y value, no matter what number we put in for x, is going to be less than or equal to 4. It could never be 5, 6, 10, 100, but it could be anything equal to 4 or less than it. It could be all negative numbers. Now let's look at letter B. Put this one in red. We have y equals -1.45 times x minus 6 in parentheses squared minus 2. So let's find our vertex. And what's going to make this equal to 0? Is it positive 6 or negative 6? Is 6 minus 6 or negative 6 minus 6? Again, because it's negative, we're going to keep this as a positive 6. And there's a -2 here. There's our vertex. Axis of symmetry, x equals our value right there of 6. Again, because our a value is negative, this again is going to open down. So that again is a maximum point. Because it's a maximum point, it's going to be y less than or equal to the y value here of -2. Now the next problem, why don't you work on this, try this on your own. Letter C. We have y equals 7 parentheses x minus 4 squared plus 3. So pause this now, try to get your answer. Now our vertex again, it's going to be 4, 3. X equals our x value here, 4. Now because this is a positive 7, this is going to smile. It's in a positive mood, which means this is a minimum value. And the values are increasing. So this is y greater than or equal to 3. Oops, that's an ugly 3. Let's make a better looking 3. There we go. So that's graphing a parabola or a quadratic equation in the vertex form. You have 3 examples. Again, you saw we didn't do any calculations. We're just trying to use the information that's given. See you next time.